What's going on, everybody? This is John Jake Gaming on the mic here, coming at you with a brand new episode of the Realignment Dynasty here on NCAA 14, featuring that college football revamp, of course, as we jump into yet another road game here within our conference, taking on yet another Ohio team, although this time we are taking on the Rockets of Toledo, who, while they're undefeated in conference play, not so much overall. 1-3 overall in the year, but they are 1-0 in the conference. So Lee Corso definitely rocking with us, and I can certainly see why. We got a B overall squad, B offense, B minus defense, whereas Toledo, they're a notch below us. C plus overall team, C plus offense, B minus defense to go with it as well. Also have a couple of injuries that they got to worry about as well. They just got their first win last week as well against another winless team who happens to be on our schedule as well. No, they're actually not. Just kidding. But yeah, man, I'm actually really excited about this game, man. I can't wait to see what we can do coming off a win against Ohio State. So if you guys are excited for this episode, man, I need you guys to go ahead and do me a favor. Smack that like button for me, and then also hit that subscribe button as well if you do happen to be brand new to the channel, as we go ahead and jump right into it. I hope you guys are excited for it. Let's go ahead and do it, baby. Let's get on the field. Alright, boys, so we find ourselves in the Glass Bowl to get this thing officially underway here, as they are going to swing things out, starting with a tight end getting moved to the right-hand side. They run the football, and oh boy, this could be a big gain, and it actually is a monumental game. Somehow we find a way to finally bring them down, but a 32-yard rush, not really how I wanted to start this game, unless it was my running back, which, as you can see, definitely not my guy. So, not how I wanted to start this game, but here we are, barbecue on the titties, and Corey Willis will also pick up yet another first down as well. He's got a 2nd and 13 coming up here, as McCarty will try to run here on 2nd and 13. Throws it across his body to Lambert. Our defender dives for it when he really didn't need to be honest. Like, Marcus Lambert is a nice catch for him. I loved his concentration, but instead of it being 3rd and 1, easily could have been like 3rd and 10 or something like that. So that's a tragedy. And Young is going to make sure that they pick up this first down. We make it a little bit more difficult for them, but things are rolling well for the Rockets up here in the Glass House. As now, 1st and 10 coming up. McCarty trying to throw once again, facing a little bit of pressure. We get it out to Matthews, and Matthews of Jamar gets a 5-yard reception here that will make it 2nd and 5. Is now we got a 2nd and mid coming up here. McCarty gonna run it up the gut for Kendrick, and Kendrick, who had that 32-yard rush earlier, sets up yet another first down. And those problems that we were having a run defense still showing up in this game early, as we are already have our backs up against a wall here. Is now 2nd and 10, another run and another big gaping hole that Marcus Kendrick is going to be able to go ahead and take advantage of. And now a goal line situation, which will probably be another run, and the Toledo offensive line does its job and is going to get it into the end zone. Touchdown Rockets, and they are going to soar ahead of us here. They draw first blood here in this ball game, and we're not off to a very good start, to be honest with you guys. Not only do we give up that opening touchdown, we also proceed to go 3 and out on our first possession. So here comes their offense once again. They're coming out onto the field, as now we try to do a little bit better here this second time around. And maybe if we can just keep sending those blitzes, that might be advantageous to us. We'll see what happens here on this 3rd down. We will send a mixed blitz. One of our defensive linemen will be in the zone coverage, but they actually run it with McCarty, and McCarty one-on-one with Early Austin, who just got his impact star, by the way. Doesn't break the tackle, but does enough to move the sticks. And a drive extending kind of play for the Rockets as they continue to gashes on the ground. Already 76 yards of rushing. Not even out of the first quarter yet. It's Toledo who is abusing us, but this play right here could definitely get us going here as Kevin Goshwitz gets a huge play that we desperately needed in the worst way. And now we'll see if our offense can feed off that same energy, as it looks like they're going to send one of their safeties on a blitz, but it leaves things explode for Corey Ross, who makes a huge catch downfield, 30-yard reception. As now here comes our Spartans trying to capitalize off the big play. 3rd and 7. Perry, he's going to go make the catch and moves the sticks. It's a first down for the Spartans, as it gives us our very first red zone opportunity of the day. As we go 4 wide on another 3rd down. Gray rolls right, gets it out to the fullback Anthony Thompson, who came in the game for Nelson Sisk, who's going to make the play there. And we got a chance. Look at this. Andrew Gray, not known for the mobility. He calls his own number on the goal line and actually finds his way into the end zone. You love to see it. And that is how we get our first touchdown of this game. And it's all knotted up here. We'll see if our defense can play a little bit better. Got an interception on the last possession, but I would love to play a lot better here with our run defense. And that's the thing with the 4-2-5. While we have a little bit more athleticism on the field, I mean, we do sacrifice some tackling, as well as, not typically having as many people in the box. Maybe, 6 or 7 guys at most, right? So that definitely hurts us in our run defense, and that's more of a scheme issue, I'm thinking. And also because we haven't recruited that great, at least just yet. We're still building this team from the, well, not necessarily from the ground up, but I mean, it's still some work that needs to be done before we, I think, really compete for a national championship. But we're doing all right versus Toledo nonetheless. We do have things tied up after 1. So welcome back, guys, to the second quarter here as we start with a 3rd and 15. We'll see if we can get him off the field quickly here. Get the second quarter off right, as McCarty, he's going to try to get this pass off, but nobody was open for him until it was too late, as Ryan Herring makes sure this drive comes to an end. And now it's our turn to take the field. Look at our first lead of the game. Gray dropping back, trying to get it over the middle, but we do end up getting hit as we threw it. And that will be counted as an incompletion as we try to throw again on 2nd and 10. But Johnson is going to get open early as the true freshman comes down with the catch. Is now 1st and 10. Ford going to make a play on the middle of the field, and it's going to be good for a first down. 17-yard reception as Gray goes ahead. He runs it up the middle of the field as well. He'll pick up a good set of yards. Nelson Sisk, who hasn't had a good day so far, wasn't used much in the first quarter, but that will hopefully get him going some as we continue to attack this Rocket secondary, as Wesley Johnson is having his way a little bit on those out routes. He is a really refined route runner for being a true freshman. That is something that I do really love about this kid, that's for sure. As now it's 3rd down coming up. We are in field goal range already, but we already know I want a little bit more of in the field goal as we look over the middle of the field, and we get it to Corey Ross, who's going to come down and makes the catch, takes a hit, but he's a guy that watches some hockey highlights, so he's definitely a tough kid. As now we get a first down to work with once again, as Andrew Gray doing some things on the speed option. A 7-yard rush here, and it's going to be a pretty reasonable 2nd down. We'll see if Andrew Gray decides to keep it again. He does. Goes inside and does get it inside the 5-yard line. Will Gray call his own number a 2nd time? Gray dropping back. He's going to try and run over the middle of the field, and it's in. Touchdown, Spartans. And if Andrew Gray was Tom Brady, except with a little bit more scrambling, that is what you're seeing right now, as we will take the lead. 14-7 being the score. And we also get a free and out to start this next possession, man. You love to see it. And Gray, what I love about him in this particular game, he is being more aggressive than what we would typically see. You know, that's a great feeling for sure. As we got 3rd and short coming up, and it looks like Andrew Gray does end up getting shaken up here a little bit. So now backup quarterback's going to have to come into the game. Billy Hammond, the sophomore, as now we'll just go ahead and hand it off for Nelson Sisk. Lean on him a little bit, and hopefully that injury is not too terribly long term. But for now, it is going to be the Billy Hammond show, as we'll throw on 1st and 10 with him. And Hammond, he holds onto this ball a little bit too long, and it's now 2nd and 22. So now it's definitely a passing down, not where we want our backup quarterback to be, but beautiful pitch and catch there out to Wesley Johnson, and that will get us back on schedule. And we've been really good on 3rd downs as well, 4 for 5 on the day. We'll try again with a play action with Hammond, who's looking to his right, got a man open, but we simply miss him. That was a tough ask for Billy Hammond, trying to do it in rhythm. Doesn't work out for us, but we do end up getting yet another 3 and out though, and that will allow us to get it out to Perry Robertson, who's going to come and make an 18-yard reception. As now 1st and 10 coming up. Sisk is going to make the run up the gut and picks up the 1st down, as we're trying to finish this first half strong here. Gotta get on the ball because we're trying to throw this Toledo defense off balance a little bit, as Andrew Gray is going to continue to remain aggressive on the ground. He's already got 40 yards rushing. That's a lot for him. As now Gray throws it over the middle, gets it out to Corey Ross. That's going to be good for the 1st down as well. And we're moving really well, actually. Minute left to play in this first half. We'll get it out to Nelson Sisk, who does move, not necessarily move the chains, but hey, we don't have to use those timeouts. We don't have to go into a no huddle if we don't want to do that. As now 2nd and 3, gets it out to Corey Ross. That's another quick 1st down. And now we can really dictate how the rest of this half goes. I'm just chilling right now. 20 seconds left to play. I'm not even worried about it as we get it to Perry Robertson. That will finish up the drive as we get it into the end zone. Touchdown, Spartans. And that is going to be the score that we will have going to the halftime locker room. We will take this 21-7 lead, and we will take it into the second half. Looking pretty good so far. So let's go ahead and jump into second half action. And we do end up getting the ball to start the second half, as we will start with a good old-fashioned running play, as Nelson Sisk is actually going to get some push from the offensive line. And we move that ball forward to 7 yards, as that will bring us to a 2nd and short here, as we see the slants are a little bit crowded here in the middle of the field. So trying to get out of the pocket, but we couldn't deliver it quite on target though. That will go ahead and make it 3rd and short, as Gray going to get settled in under center. He's going to drop back to pass. Looks over to right inside and gets it out to Mike Anderson, who makes the catch for 11 yards there, making it 1st and 10. And we're going to continue to move this ball downfield exactly how I wanted to start this second half. Sending a message out here, man, as Sisk, he's going to get some good blocking as well. A gain of 8 on the ground. But Sisk, just what I'm worried about. He gets shaken up. So to avoid bringing our fullback out on the field more often than he needs to, we're going to go with the 5-wide set. We're going to try to send it deep here, but unfortunately, Brandon Davis covers it well. It does end up being just a minor injury, though, but now got to try to pick up this 1st down on the ground. And Andrew Gray, he's going to come through for us. Makes a couple of nice cuts as well. He's bringing some good scrambling ability. You like to see that. He's really improved from last year, that's for certain. And to be fair, Anthony Thompson, he's also getting some good runs in as well. His first carry goes for 8 yards. As we bring back Nelson Sisk, he's feeling a lot better. You know, got himself taped up. All you really need is a little bit of stem and ice, and you're good to go. But 1st and 10, Good trying to set up the screen. We tried to get around that last guy because he did originally cover the screen. And it does end up being fumbled. And so that does mean we turn the football over. And Toledo is going to get their hands on the football again. So what was a really good drive for us ends up not even netting any points for us, unfortunately. And that's a tough pill to swallow. Is now 2nd and 10, going to run it up the gut with Kendrick, who is going to pound the football forward and pick up a gain of 6 there as the tailback is closing in on 100 yards. We'll see if they give him another crack here to pick up this first down. And sure enough, they actually use him as a decoy for the play action as Jamar Matthews was open over the middle of the field. Did a good job of faking this out. But a couple plays later, 3rd and 11. McCarty going to try to pick up another first down. This time, the pocket goes ahead and collapses on himself. And McCarty simply has nowhere to go. But they do pin us deep, however. So now we got some work to do. Got to get us out of the black zone so that we can make sure that if we do have to punt this football away, we can at least go ahead and flip this field position as we'll try to throw on 2nd and 4. Got to scramble out of the pocket. Tries to throw it out there, but Brink covers it well. And a great play by the defensive back. I thought our wide receiver would maybe run a tad bit back faster so that we can create a little bit more space. That didn't happen. That did not happen at all. And thankfully for us, we do force a 3 and out, and we, force a field goal attempt, which they do end up making at least. But man, talking about letting Toledo back in the game potentially, we got to clean that up a little bit here as we are still looking for our first points here in the second half. We haven't made it happen yet, as now we go back to Nelson Sisk, who does come back into the game. He is feeling just peachy now, as he's closing in on 100 yards rushing as well, but we'll have to wait for a little bit. 2nd and 3, Gray looking over the right-hand side, gets it out to Leslie Johnson, who fights forward and picks up the sticks, but a couple plays later, 2nd and 7 coming up, we drop back, looks to the left, and it's Leslie Johnson again, who makes another nice route. And that is going to wrap up the 3rd quarter of action here. We're up 21-10. Let's just make sure that we handle our business so that we can leave this city and still remain undefeated. So 4th quarter action underway here as we face a 3rd and long. Gonna go with the 4 verts till it hurts as Gray drops back over the middle of the field, but Myrick makes an incredible grab, and it's gonna be intercepted. That is a true freshman, Tony Myrick, who fell back in the coverage and just high points the ball beautifully. A lot of athleticism from that young man, and that robs us a touchdown. That would have been 28-10 if he didn't have that kind of vertical. Can't even blame that on Andrew Gray there. That's not his fault that the middle linebacker had freakish athleticism. I didn't know that. I didn't pay attention in the film study. Call me Kyler Miller in that regard. But Toledo, they got the football. They're going to try to drive down this field as Kendrick, who was killing us in that running game, he ends up getting hurt, and he's out until at least overtime if it somehow gets that far. So it's going to be all on this passing attack, which we'll probably see quite a bit of anyways, given the gravity of this game, as McCarty actually is going to run it to the left-hand side, out to Josh Young, and able to get out of bounds and temporarily stop this clock. As now 3rd and 4 coming up. Lyles going to try to get after his quarterback, looking for McCarty, facing a double team, throws over the middle, and it's incomplete. And now Toledo, they're going to choose to go for it here on 4th down, kind of in no man's land. This would be a stretch for their kicker to try to make this a 1-score game, and they're going to go for it. McCarty throws to the right-hand side. No one goes for Josh Young, and in the glass bowl, the Toledo Rockets, they are going to remain alive. Now a red zone opportunity to make this a one-score game. Young runs it up the left-hand side and almost gets it into the end zone. It's not a touchdown, but it was very darn close from making that happen. And sure enough, McCarty will take care of the West, finding Corey Willis in the back of the end zone there. And that is a touchdown for the Rockets. And that gets it down to just a 5-point game. It's one possession. We'll see if they decide to go for it here. And sure enough, they will actually go ahead and do just that. For the 2-point conversion to get this down to just a field goal game. McCarty looking, facing some pressure, and it's incomplete. So it's the 2-point conversion is no good. But we will take this time to check in on a studio update that just appeared right in front of our screen, as Georgia, they are searching for that #1 ranking, and they might get it with their win against Georgia State. Meanwhile, elsewhere throughout the country, Indiana handles its business, and so does Oklahoma, as Indiana looking to try to get back to the college football playoff after being so close to making it last year. But we're also deep in the college football playoff hunt, and now that 4-minute offense, let's see how effective it is. First time that we're in this kind of situation all year long, as we actually got a penalty on the field after Wesley Johnson was brought down, and thankfully it is against the defense, so we're able to move the ball downfield. Now in Toledo territory. Almost said Akron. I have no idea why, to be honest, but we pick up another first down in Toledo. They got to go ahead and start using their timeouts right now. Matter of fact, one more first down could very well seal the deal, and we are right on the doorstep of continuing our winning streak that we got going on here. 4-0 coming in this game. We could easily make it 5-0. We just need one more inch. But offensive coordinator decides to call a play action. Gray just hangs on to the football because, we don't need to risk an incompletion there. But what that does, though, is that it gives Toledo one last chance to win the game. McCarty dropping back. He throws it over the middle. It's not going to be a first down. Matter of fact, he's not brought down with till 7 seconds left. And they're going to run out of time. And that ends up being the final play of the game. Jeremy McCarty just kind of having a boneheaded moment there, and with a chance to upset a top 5 team at your home stadium, my man fumbles the bag, and we will escape with. So in this game, we kind of had the opposite problem than what we had in our FCS matchup that we had earlier in the year. We played really well in the first half, but just in the second half, we let Toledo back in the game. And it almost cost us. We almost lost this game, but Andrew Gray still had a decent stat line. 17 for 25, 204 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, one of which was just off of a really great play from their middle linebacker. He had that 40-inch vertical, which I was definitely not aware about. But Nelson Sisk, he did have a pretty good day on the ground today. He ends up with 100 yards rushing in this game. And then Andrew Gray did also find the end zone twice on the ground. He ends up with 13 carries and 38 yards. If Tom Brady was a scrambler, this is what it would look like, because Andrew Gray is definitely not the fastest person on the field, let's be honest. But our receivers did have a solid day, and we were led by our true freshman Wesley Johnson, who continues to impress me, man. 7 catches for 88 yards, a really good stat line that he was able to go ahead and put together. Only 2 other receivers had more than 1 catch today, though. Corey Ross ends up with 4 catches and 59 yards. And then tight end Perry Robinson ends up with 3 catches and 33 yards in this one. He was also able to find the end zone through the air. Now for our defense played pretty well overall. And while we only forced the 1 turnover, I liked how this defense was able to bend and not break. Early Austin led the team in tackles. He ends up with 12 tackles. And then Ryan Herring ends up with 10, which, yes, it is concerning that both of our safeties led the team in tackles today. But, both these guys, they have tendencies to play up in the box. So I'm really not too concerned about it, to be honest with you guys. But we did end up with a few sacks in this one. Nathan Nelson was able to get to this quarterback. And then the same could be said for Kevin Williams and Ryan Herring, who did also got that sack in addition to 3 TFLs on the game. But we do also end up with a singular interception, and that is Patrick Goshwin, the sophomore redshirt out of Monroe, Michigan. He ends up with that interception. That he went a little bit backwards once he got it, but hey, a turnover is a turnover, and that really helped get the momentum back in our direction because we did struggle a little bit coming out the gate. But while we were having our matchup against Toledo, there was another big time matchup that was happening in the Southwest Conference. Coach Gunner and his TCU Horned Frogs, they came in as the #1 team in the country, and they played up against the defending national champs Texas A&M, and it was a really close game. It was a really exciting game, but Texas A&M, they did what they needed to do. They won the 4th quarter and therefore won the game, winning 28-24. So TCU, they moved down to number 7 with their first loss of the season, whereas Texas A&M is now in the top 5 and also deep in the hunt for the college football playoff. But thanks to our win, though, we actually move up to number 2 in the entire country. So a very good feeling getting Michigan State towards the top of the mountaintop here early in the regular season, but doesn't change the fact that we still have to take care of our business. One loss could hurt us, as we're not necessarily in the best conference in college football. I wouldn't go that far. We're not the worst, but we're definitely not the best. So Michigan State, we got to handle our business here in the regular season. And it starts with this game next episode. We take on the number 22 ranked Purdue Boilermakers, who also just got themselves in the top 25 as well. It's going to be a little test for us, as they did beat us last year. Let's see if we can go ahead, get our revenge in the next episode. So you're not going to want to miss a single thing. And I hope you guys are excited for that next episode. If you are, make sure you go ahead, smack that like button for me. Hit that subscribe button as well if you do happen to be brand new to the channel. This is John J. Gaming on the mic, signing off. But I'm hoping you're all out there having a good one. Take care, everybody.